Every man carries a circle of hell around his head like a halo. Every man has to go through hell to reach his paradise.
Christoph, let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Hello, YouTube again. This is going to be part 2, so let's get right into it. What I'm going to try to cover today is, I'd like to get up to the part that I alluded to in the last video where my dad got into it and how that all started and how everything changed from there on out. Hopefully we can get up to close to that, but there's a couple things that I wanted to cover first before we get into that. First of all, thanks for everybody for watching this and for the feedback. It's been immensely helpful. This social media crap is all brand new to me, so I'm trying to take notes and hear what the feedback was. I thought there was going to be a couple hundred people that might click on this video and watch it. 10,000 people saw this fucking thing, so I really appreciate the feedback, and it's very helpful. I'm going to tell this story if nobody's listening, because it's just because I want to bookmark this part in my life. I've been wanting to get this off my chest for so fucking long that it's going to be a really enormous self-healing process, but if it helps other people, that would be amazing. So thanks for motivating me for wanting to do this even more. So, and for making it easy, because other cult members, ex-cult members that might be listening to this, I know are going to be able to relate to this story very, very much. And even other people that might not have this kind of experience, I have a feeling that anybody's going to get something out of this by the time, all the videos are laid out. Because I'm going to lay it out in a dot-by-dot, step-by-step, dot-connecting manner. So this whole thing makes sense at the end of it. So anyways, thank you for that. And what I'm going to try to cover today is, I'm going to first do a disclaimer, and then I'm going to talk about huge breaking news yesterday in Scientology concerning Danny Masterson. It's a big fucking deal. And then we're going to come up with a definition, because I alluded to it at the beginning of the last video about Scientology being a secret society. But what the fuck actually is Scientology? Because if you listen to Scientologists, or even the basic PR line on Scientology by Scientologists and people that support it and get into it and why they get into it, is they'll tell you it has a bunch of tools to help you for your life, your business, your family. There's a technology on how to do everything. They're not going to tell you about, like, they're into like space alien invader force, like fucking space opera type shit. They don't hit you with that right away. It's just tools for life initially, and then it turns. It's like boiling a frog in hot water. It happens slowly, but by the time you're, getting up, especially into the confidential levels, which we'll talk about, you're totally, like I said before, living in an alien world. It's so radical, man. It's such a trip too, by the way. Like, I'm probably going to be deprogramming for the rest of my life, but it's amazing as I'm doing these videos, to look back and just realize how fucking stupid it all is, and it's just such a time waste. And if you knew what it was before you were going in, this entire situation for my life and other people that went through it would never happen. And there's a serious problem in this world, by the way, that Scientology is not the only one, obviously. That's just what I'm talking about. That's what I know about. But if you're an ex-JW, if you're an ex-Mormon, if there's also other elements of society that use this same kind of structure to trap people. So I'm going to be talking about a definition of what it actually is. And there's going to be a lot of different opinions, whether you're a Scientologist. There's a lot of Scientologists that are out of the cult, but still believe in the technology of L. Ron Hubbard. But they think David Miscavige is the fucking asshole and he fucked Scientology up. There's so many different levels when you come out of this that there's going to be a lot of different opinions as to what people say that it is. My opinion is you have to have a lot of distance from it and do a shitload of deprogramming before you can even approach that. the answer to that question. Because what Scientology is, it's a multidimensional, multifaceted con. It's a scam from beginning to end, all of it. But if you're a still half-believing Scientologist, which there's lots of, and we're going to talk about the ex-Scientology community in a separate video altogether, because that's a whole nother ball of wax to open up. There's many, many levels. Getting out of Scientology is just the first step. There's many levels to make sure that you don't rejoin a cult, you don't fucking get trapped into one of these other kind of groups, while you're trying to heal yourself. It's fucking loaded with obstacles just trying to get the fuck out, let alone trying to get out with people that you think are helping you that are also fucked up still and trying to figure it all out themselves. So we're going to talk about a definition, and then hopefully we can get the beginnings of the story about my dad and how this all started. So first off, I'm not doing these videos to smear anybody, to damage anybody. My parents and my best friends are in a trap. They're in a mind prison. Just like that Lawrence Wright's book said that I held up the other day. It's a prison for your mind. 98, 97%, 90%, a very high percentage of people, they're fucking victims. Unfortunately, they are responsible to figure that out and to try to undo it and get out. But they have no idea what happened to them or what's going on. They think they're helping out, as I did. So I have a lot of compassion for these people. I'd love to reunite with my family. That's not going to happen, I'm pretty sure, and I'll explain that later. Because you can go in too deep to Scientology, I feel, and not be able to get out. But there's a lot of tears. There's a lot of dead bodies, a lot of suicides. My best friend, Nick Lashaway, passed away in a car accident at the age of 28. And he was brought up in Scientology. And I'm going to have something to say about him and other friends that I lost. And I'm not saying Scientology offed him. They didn't. But growing up in a Scientology family and then trying to get out like he was beginning to do creates an unbelievable dynamic within the family who are still believing Scientologists to try to break away from that. And it can cause your mind to crack for a while. I'm going to talk about all that. So anyways, there's a lot of blood, a lot of tears, but these people, almost all of them are victims. The exception to that would be David Miscavige, the leader of the cult. He's a full-blown psychopath, as L. Ron Hubbard was. And probably a couple of people that are at the top of the pyramid are also psychopaths. But the majority of the people, even the hardened Sea Org members, they might have gotten into that when they were a fucking kid, So I have a lot of sympathy. I'm not here to trash anybody, but I am going to talk about a lot of different people that I knew, from celebrities that were friends to my parents, all sorts of different names. And I'm not here to hurt them in any way at all. And I'm not going to slander them, but I am going to tell the truth. So there's the disclaimer. The big breaking news today that happened, or actually it happened yesterday, Danny Masterson, the actor best known to people from what the fuck was it, that 70s show?
They want to kill rock and roll because they know what makes us horny, man!
Yesterday, he was arrested, and now he's out on bail. And I believe in September, he has to go to court about this matter. He was charged with raping 3 women and might be in prison up to the maximum sentence that they're going for is 45 years to life. I didn't know Danny Masterson myself. There's a whole bunch of different cliques within the celebrity circle and that go on at Celebrity Center, which is the main headquarters for all the Hollywood actors and the producers and shit to hang out at, get brainwashed and do their choruses and stuff. But I did know his family a little bit because his mother, Carol Masterson, was my acting manager around 2004, I think, 2005. she's my manager for 2 or 3 years. So I go drop off headshots and whatever. But Danny, or none of the kids were ever over there. But I did briefly meet Chris Masterson. He came to this play that I did in 2005, I think, called Pecker Patter. There was a heart, a dick, and a brain. Those were the 3 characters, and I played the dick, by the way. My mom said that was the role I was always born to play. Anyway, so Chris came out and introduced himself, and I found him to be a really nice guy. Why I think that's a big deal and why I brought it up in this video. I think this is just my personal opinion, but I think this has the possibility to be a very, very big deal in terms of possibly exposing Scientology itself, let alone what may or may not happen to Masterson. That's for the courts to decide. But what Scientology does is they're experts at learning how to manipulate the justice system. In fact, L. Ron Hubbard has a policy where he talks about how easy it is to use the court system and the justice system to absolutely crush people. And we're going to get into all of this as we go along. Please bear with me. There's probably going to be 100 fucking videos. There's so much to cover in this. All your questions will be answered by the end of this. I promise you. That's why I'm doing this. But anyways, back to the Danny Masterson story. This is a big deal because Scientology has many, many tactics to manipulate the system and to prevent things from actually going to court. The big deal about this is that the church actually, apparently from what I read, there's evidence in their pre-clear folders or something that Scientology has written down that says that the church knew about these allegations, and they were told, the victims were told not to go to the police. I understand that as a Scientologist. I never would have gone to the police. You never ever seek justice outside of Scientology, period, end of story. There's high crimes for doing that. I'll get into all the penalties, but trust me, you do not do that. So I'm not surprised at all that I think one of the victims actually did go to the police, which takes a lot of balls, because if that gal was a Scientologist and she would have gone to the police, she would have been faced, that would have took a lot of courage. I don't know the full details of that. But so we're already like 12 minutes in. I guess I'm going to have to leave it there. Then I'll do the next video. But I'm brand new to this, guys. Bear with me. I can definitely commit to doing 1 video a week. But once I figure all this shit out and I get rolling, hopefully I can do several a week and get this shit rolling. But thanks for watching, and I'll hit you up on the next one soon.